Zaycon Foods haul. And I only got one box, one 40-pound box of boneless, skinless chicken breast. But I have to tell you, if you guys haven't signed up for Zaycon Foods, go down in the About section. I've got a link to where you just hop over there. You're going to sign up for free. They'll email you when they have an event like this in your area. So all I had to do this afternoon, I bought this like a month and a half ago. They remind you, they also tell you, like, there were 6 extra cases available if somebody wanted them. And I kind of thought long and hard, but because of work and other issues, I decided not to get 80 pounds of chicken. So we have 40 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast, and this comes straight from the grower. And this is all natural. Federal regulations does not allow hormones. So there's no antibiotics or hormones. And these are fresh. They've never been frozen, so they come in packed quite well, actually. And I'm going to get my gloves on because I'm going to start processing this. We're going to can some of it, we're going to freeze some of it, and we're definitely having chicken breast for dinner. So let's get to getting ready here. So I am ready. I've got my cutting board. I've got a big knife, a paring knife to get off excess fat. I'm going to have a scrap bowl and a processing bowl. And this is double bag. This is a heavy, heavy bag. When they put it in your car, they put plastic down, so just in case the box would leak. And I can tell you, this stuff is so cold, your hands are going to get cold handling it. So there's 4 10-pound bags inside here, so as you can see. And these are double lobe chicken breast. If you've never seen that, it's basically the whole breast off the chicken. There's the whole breast off the chicken, and I'm going to bring you around and so you can see how much fat I'm taking off of this. Super easy to trim. Save all that fat you paid for it. Put that in your scrap bowl. We can make chicken broth with this, all the scraps, and save the schmaltz. So the fat off that chicken is delicious. And you use it in cooking just like you would lard or Crisco or anything like that. So, okay, so I'll bring you around, and this looks like perfect little chicken breast. So guys, we're finally ready to start canning, and I've got all my supplies out. I've got my hot water standing by to go over my lids, and I've got my basket of rings over here. I've got my chicken broth that I'm going to put over the chicken, and I'm par cooking this chicken. And if I didn't already say it, this took 2 hours to prep the 40 pounds of chicken for my canning process. Now, and it probably would have only taken an hour or even less, if I just would have put it into freezer bags and trimmed it up when I took them out. You could certainly do that. Zaycon Foods is amazing. And I have to tell you, we had chicken piccata that was mouth-watering, so tender and juicy and delicious. So we're very, very pleased with this chicken. So go down in the About section, check out Zaycon Foods. You sign up for free. Once you click on that link, it'll take you over there. You sign up for free with your email address, and they'll send you an event. So I've got my big roaster here, and I've turned it up to 450. I'm letting it kind of preheat. I'm going to get some oil in here so we don't have chicken sticking all over the place. And I'm going to par cook my chicken in here instead of doing it in batches in the big electric skillet. I think it'll be much easier that way. And this chicken stayed ice cold all night. So now that the oil is heated up, I'm going to start putting this chicken in. And there's really no easy way to do it except to get after it. And I've used this roasting pan. And I'll put a link in the description box below for one of those, as well as my canners. I've got a Presto back there. We're dual canning today. I've got my good old trusty Presto canner that I'm going to put 1.5 size jars in, 8 of them, and then I'll put 16 pints in the other canner, and whatever's left we'll put in the freezer and eat when we thaw it out. So there you go. When I get this all in and I get it browned up, I'll bring you back for loading jars. So I've got my jars out of the dishwasher. They're still really hot. I'm going to start loading some jars. Now, these roasters heat from the sides, so it's not, you're not getting a bottom heat, and this is a lot of meat. It's 30 pounds of cubed chicken breast. So I'm going to pick out the pieces on top as I continue to cook the ones that aren't cooked yet. I'm going to go ahead and start loading my jars. You just want them partially cooked. And what happens is these stay separated instead of melding together like a raw pack method melds together. And you know when you cook chicken and you get that foam on top? Well, we skim that off generally, you know, when you're making soup or whatever. When you raw pack them, that foam gets stuck to the sides of your jar and it makes it aesthetically not pretty to look at, and it's not very attractive. So I do it this way. So let me get this jar filled for you. And oh, this chicken is so delicious. And you want this to an inch of headspace, and how firmly you pack them down is totally up to you. I kind of want these firm yet loose enough to add some stock in here. And I've got organic chicken stock. It's got sodium in it, so I'm not going to add any salt. Generally, I don't add salt to my canning anyway. I can season it after, so I still am in control. Yeah, a couple more pieces. And we're good to go. Now we're going to ladle in some of this beautiful chicken stock. And this is going to go set and rest in a warm canner. I've got both my canners heated up to about 180 degrees and they're just sitting on low. That way you're not shocking the jars, you're not starting the canning process, and everything is right with the world. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I can't wait till you get to see these close up. Perfect. Good. My vinegar over here, a little bowl of vinegar. Wipe the rim of your jar. Get anything on there. Go ahead and inspect your jar one last time. Make sure there's no nicks or any abnormalities that you can feel. I've got my lids over here in the water. And as I said in my Kitchen Tip Tuesday, I put them in, one goes in up right side, the other one's flipped. So they won't stick together, and the water will get all the way around the lids as well. Super important to get these seals at least soft, and that is a non-sealed lid, but this is going in the canner and that's really hot. It's going in the canner to rest. All right guys, let me get the rest of these jars loaded and I'll bring you back. Okay guys, so my first jar, guess what? Because it was right in front of me, even though it was out here, I didn't debubble. So I've already taken that jar out and debubbled. You want to make sure after you fill your jar to where you think it is, you go ahead and debubble your jar. And if your liquid level goes down, then you can add some more liquid. But you don't want any air pockets in there. And I do get to add another tablespoon or so of water. And I want all the meat under the broth. So go ahead and inspect the rim, wipe the rim, and now we can put our lid on. See, even though I've been doing this forever, sometimes you forget those little steps. You have to catch yourself. That's why I lay out my checklist of canning stuff so I don't forget anything. All right, I've got a Presto canner full, and it holds 8 1.5 pint jars, or 7 quarts, or 8 pint jars, and they're the same diameter as the small, the pint jars. So 8 1.5 pint jars in there. I've already started it, and I'll have 2 timers going, so I know how to keep that. You have to can that as if it were quarts. So that will can, once it comes up to pressure, it's going to vent. I'll vent that for 10 minutes, and then put the 15-pound weight on, and that's because of your altitude. Mine is 4,500 square, not 4,500 square feet, 4,500 feet above sea level. And so I need 15 pounds of pressure. So check with your local extension agency if you're not sure of what you should be doing before you do this. And please use a reference guide. A ball canning guide is always your best bet. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and load these jars. And I'm gonna see how many I get. I've turned the cooker off, so this chicken is done enough. And there's a raw pack method and a hot pack method in the ball canning book, so that's what I am following, basic instructions. Canning meat is pretty much straight across the board. So debubble, wipe the rim of your jar, grab a hot lid, and I put hot water again in here. Change the water out because it cools off as you're working, so you got to make sure that everything is still what you thought it was in the beginning. That on, get this in the All-American canner. Okay guys, so I'll bring you back maybe when things are rocking and rolling, or maybe when I'm all done. So now it's probably an hour later. These jars have been sitting here and you can still see them boiling in the jars. So this stuff stays extremely hot. This canner gets 250 degrees inside when it's up to pressure. And that's enough to kill botulism. That's enough to kill any organism that might be there. And this is the jar that is partially full, but it'll make a really quick and easy single serving chicken soup, or actually probably two, because that's a lot of chicken. That's a half a pound of chicken or close to it. So we'll get all of our jars out, and these are going to sit here overnight. When they cool down, before I go to bed, when they come to room temperature, I'll check my lids. If there's a lid that hasn't sealed, it goes in the refrigerator and we'll use it up in the next couple of days for so 16 pints and 8 pint-and-a-half size jars of canned chicken breast. That is no antibiotics, no hormones. I know what went into this, organic chicken stock, and this will be great to have on hand. And I won't need to do this for a year or so. Maybe, you know, I mean, if this is all I used for chicken, then it would go pretty quickly. But I usually do 2 to 3 pantry meals a week. I try to do 2 a week just to keep things rotating. So I hope it inspires you, if you've never canned before, to try your hand at home canning. It's easy. There's tons of reference guides out there. Go check out the ball canning book. You can also go online and check. Putting Food By is a great canning book as well. I often refer to that one. Most of the guidelines, though, for chicken are going to be straight across the board the same. And I love this. And if you've priced canned chicken in the store, it's expensive. Let me show you something. This is an example. This is actually roast beef. But this is a 12-ounce jar, and I would guess you're only probably getting 7 or 8 ounces of actual meat. The rest is broth. And this cost almost $5. So canned chicken is just about the same. It's expensive. You're going to pay $3 or $4 for, you know, a 12-ounce can that is mostly water. And you don't know where that chicken came from, what kind of chicken they used, and it's in tin. I'm really trying to get away from this. In fact, this particular jar I bought, or can, doesn't say, oh, in 2013. So it's nearing its expired date. I don't know that I'll eat it. We might, but we might add it to our own home canned roast beef. I just don't purchase this stuff anymore, and I don't feel the need to purchase canned chicken when I can do it and do it on a bargain. So, hope it inspires you. Go check out the Zaycon Foods link. Go say hi on Facebook, as always, guys, and check out the links that I've left for you in the description box below. I'll leave a link to my canners, and you can go check that out if you want to. All right, guys. Can't wait to see you next time.